We are standing at a genetic crossroads. One path leads to cures, while the other path threatens humanity's diversity by being replaced by engineered perfection. We all want a future where disease is eradicated, suffering is reduced, and science serves humanity's best interests. As someone who's researched gene editing's ethical and scientific implications, I urge caution before embracing this technology without safeguards. Gene editing poses irreversible threats to human health, ethics, and social equality. Gene editing tools like CRISPR can cause unintended changes in DNA, leading to mutations and irreversible damage. CRISPR's precision is a myth. Studies have revealed that target DNA breaks, chromosomal loss, and unintended large-scale deletions all happen with CRISPR's technology. A study was published by the scientific journal Cell, and researchers found when trying to repair mutations in the hereditary blindness gene that the CRISPR technology wreaked havoc in about half of the specimens they were examining to fix this gene. Even in studies with fruit flies, gene editing has produced unexpected mutations. Though some are harmless, others risk destabilizing genomes in ways that one cannot predict. Once DNA is altered, there is no undo button. These errors are permanent. Now, some proponents argue that newer tools reduce risk. For example, Broad Institute reports that their prime editing tools achieve a near perfect accuracy in human cells, minimizing any collateral damage. Next, we will discuss the risk of eugenics. Editing genes is not just about curing diseases. It is a gateway to designer humans. Wealth as we know it today dictates access. And this causes a fear of creating a genetic elite while marginalizing those who cannot afford these enhancements. A form was posted for researchers working on the CRISPR technology to discuss their concerns. The forum showed that most researchers were afraid of some form of discrimination. Researchers from places like China and India were worried about discrimination towards women, while researchers in countries like the United States and Canada were worried about discrimination towards minorities. History has warned us that eugenics disguised as progress has justified oppression. I will say that again. History has warned us that eugenics disguised as progress has justified oppression. Ethicists like Julian Savaki argue that genetic enhancement can reduce suffering, and they say the key is not prohibition, but equitable access. Germline gene editing presents a unique ethical dilemma. Future individuals affected by these genetic changes cannot provide informed consent for these alterations that will shape not just their lives, but the lives of their descendants. This undermines the fundamental principle of autonomy, which is central to medical ethics and human rights, as everybody has the right to say and make decisions about their own body. According to Pew Research Center, over half of Americans oppose editing babies' genes precisely because they cannot consent for these alterations. While some argue parents already make health decisions for their children, gene editing is permanent. And unlike parental decisions that have to do with education or nutrition, gene editing permanently marks our human gene pool. This raises profound concerns about limiting the autonomy and self-determination of people who are not yet born, as they inherit consequences either good or bad without having any say in the matter. These risks are not hypothetical, they are happening now. But there is a solution if we act boldly. We need a global moratorium on germline editing until safety and ethics are proven. We need to limit gene editing to preventing and treating serious diseases, not for enhancements or non-medical traits. We need to assess the immediate and long-term risks before any clinical application. The development of international guidelines and cooperations is a must. Let's continue to engage society in transparent discussions about the risk of gene editing. Imagine a world where science prioritizes curing diseases like sickle cell anemia without playing God. This is the moment we choose healing over hubris, where science cures without playing God. Without strict safeguards, CRISPR can become humanity's Pandora's box. Will we be remembered as the generation that eradicated sickle cell anemia or the one that engineered humanity's downfall? In conclusion, the future is in our hands, but only if we act today. Gene editing offers power, but power without ethics is perilous. While advancements promise hope, irreversible mutations, eugenic ideologies, and stolen consent threatens not just individuals, but humanity itself. Until safety, global consensus, and equity are guaranteed, we must put a pause before our genes become our grave. Contact your legislators to support gene editing oversight and educate others about the risks through social media and community forums. Thank you.